today. And please say hello to my voice by, no, that's you had that already, by Parody by Guy Laroche. That's a black mare, ladies and gentlemen, out of a Carino daughter. More about the pedigree afterwards. And we have Sunsprite Syrius by Titulus, out of a thoroughbred mare by Silent Fox.
So the black mare, Parody, is actually an ATA model mare. Once we take the saddle off and stand her up, you'll be able to see something that comes very close to the ideal, at least standing, ideal conformation that we want in horses, at least that's breed shows. She is how old is she, 5, Pam? 5?
She's just barely 5, yeah.
5, barely 5? Yeah, she was
She started late.
She's a 5-year-old, and she was started this year?
4 months ago.
Okay, so she's been on her saddle for 4 months. And the bay gelding was bred by Lori, here, right there. And was bred by Lori, and I had the pleasure of handling both of these at a meeting many years ago, so it's kind of fun to see them again. And Syrius was acquired by Pam and Don at Sunsprite Warmbloods this year, last year? This year. As a future advanced eventer for Gina Miles. And Gina is riding this horse. I don't know how familiar you are with that name, but Gina has a very successful business eventing horses here in California. She won the Olympic silver medal as an individual rider in 2008 in Hong Kong. And this is, I'm not sure, this is her second Trakehner? Third Trakehner? Something like that. So she has used the thoroughbred horse as a type of event horse that we breed these days. And since she now has found sponsors that have an interest in the Trakehner, she gets to ride more Trakehner, which we think is fabulous. And we will see both horses now in a second without saddles, and then we'll see some two very, very different constellations.
Thank you very much. All right. Yes, what I like very much to notice here that so successful, internationally well-known competition riders are sitting in the saddle of Trakehner horses. That makes me proud and happy. And I know that they are happy riders and lucky riders too.
Can you read next bio, please?
Of course I will do that, because there is a second rider here, and her name is Rebecca Brightly. German ancestors or roots, Becky? Yes. Brightly should be a little German. Beck is coming from Australia, Trakehners worldwide, and spent years training with Australian Olympic gold medalist Stuart Tinney. She has represented Australia at the Young Riders Trans-Tasmanian Championships and competes at 3-star event level and joined Gina Miles in 2008. Two beautiful ladies on two very interesting horses could make the whole argumentation today a little bit difficult again, but don't worry about it. In this connection, when they're still warming up, a little bit again about the type of the horse which is looked for in international competition. Ladies and gentlemen, the type of the horse, it is not the head, it's the type of the whole horse, in my opinion, depends on fashion. And fashion, on the other side, on the next step, depends on the results in international competitions. If you look at the dressage circuit, 5 or 6 years ago, there was a very big framed, tall horse, sometimes 17 and more in hand, fashionable. because these horses, heavy and strong and not easy to ride, only with strength and with a lot of work, but they won the medals. If you have seen, and I'm sure that you watched the Olympic Games this year, a totally different type of a horse, a total different, the opposite model of a horse, is now winning gold medal. Expect one from the Netherlands. We're not very happy about that. But if you look at Vallegro, Damon Hill, Desperados, Utopia, they are different horses, but they represent the same model. Noble, elastic, they have something, what we call something blossoming around them, and then this unnamed horse from the Netherlands was the opposite. A world-class horse, of course, but the opposite model, a different model. And when you saw the style and way of riding and training, that was a different style and the opposite style as well. And therefore, you understand now what I mean, what is fashion in the moment, and what the international riders, Olympic riders, are looking for. I'm close friend to Ingrid Klimke and Helen Lange-Haneberg, and Dorothy Schneider, of course, and all the three Olympic riders, they have Trakehners in their barn, and they didn't appear there by chance. They came there because they have been selected by these international riders. When you talk to Helen, why she is riding horses of that type, Trakehner type, or Damon Hill, is a blood horse type as well, then she will tell you, I'm only that big, I have arms like this, and legs like this, I'm not strong enough for the others. I need intelligent, easy-going horses, which I can put with not so much strength and weight and leg and all the other things in the right direction. She is a strong rider, of course, but nature says, because of her weight and her size, not too much. Damon Hill is not easy to ride, by the way, but he's a blood horse, and with the right mind of her rider, of his rider, he's doing what he's doing. But now that was a little direction in a different way. But that means today judging a horse in competition as well. Can you please stand him here a little bit closer, that we can see him here? So, ladies and gentlemen, that is now the Titulus son, out of a thoroughbred mare. You will all know Titulus, son by Kasparov, out of a well-proven competition dam line. A very lanky horse, a very athletic horse, that sire, but was the best show jumper in this year of grading of approval in Germany, owned by our friend Patricia Mallet from Montreal. And I don't know the mother, of course, Laurie, which type of a mare is that?
She was a race mare.
How tall?
Mine your way?
It's a big race mare. For a race mare, that's
Over
a big
here?
size. A lot of weight, a lot of substance. Yes. And that happens very often. And that should happen, especially in a pure breed as a Trakehner, that you notice in the offspring how the parents have been looked, or how they have been in type, in conformation, and so on. This horse, of course, could be a thoroughbred as well. A thoroughbred not in the common way of understanding a thoroughbred horse, not in our days, but in the Irish way, I would say, where they breed in Ireland and England still the heavyweight thoroughbreds. Long frames, big quarters, not these as we say in Germany, the American thoroughbred quarters, which are built very high and puts the horse a little bit downhill in front. This make him a little bit more awake, otherwise he shows downhillness as well. Tight. I like tight. Long legs, big shoulder, not the typiest face of the world, not from the first moment to identify as a noble Trakehner, but a very empathic face. A face which promises a good mind, a big heart, and I want to tell you one secret from very old horseman who taught me, look into a horse's eye and you will see their soul and heart. Is that right? Absolutely. International rider agrees with me. This horse has it. Beautiful face, not a Trakehner face, but a face of a noble horse with good impression. And look how relaxed this horse is. As now here standing, Maren, I need your help. Was heißt kantig?
Kantig.
Kantig. What is this? It's not round. The opposite of round. What is the opposite of round? Square.
Flat. Are you saying that the horse is in good condition and he's not filled up? You can see bone structure. Okay? It's not fat.
The opposite of round. That means this. And that is the whole frame, the whole top line is a little bit marked like that. But I like that very much, especially for that future of this horse, eventing. That means, excuse me, may I touch him? Of course. That means a big withers, which is marked. And this withers is so important, ladies and gentlemen, because no rider is able to keep or to stay on the horse if the saddle is not in the right position. But here, on this back, the saddle will always be in the right position, because the withers and this saddle position give the saddle from nature on the perfect position. Hind quarter is, in comparison to the long frame of the horse, a little bit shorter type of a hind quarter, but very good in the connection here. We call that's the kidney part of the horse. And here, in this part, ladies and gentlemen, there all the strength, all the power is sleeping and positioned. In this part, because there is this muscle bridge which gives the power from behind. The power of a horse doesn't come from here, doesn't come from here, comes from here in combination with the right angle of the hind quarter. We call this, for example, trousers in the English translation of the German word. Trousers means they have to be well muscle packages here in this part, because that makes an influence of the power too afterwards. And this horse has that all. Not the most attractive horse of the world, but a competition. Oh, excuse me, dog. Excuse me, but I can't lie at you. But a perfect competition type of a horse, as I have tried to show you in the body parts of the horse. And on top of that, not the biggest joint, but clear joints. And clear means that you can see tendons, that you can see each muscle, each tendons clear, and that is so important for staying sound in harder competition. Otherwise it will not work. The best conformation of the world, there we are in the beginning again, the best conformation and correctness and perfect correctness of the world in hand, if doesn't work, if the horse doesn't stay sound. Then it's ridiculous for you. Not even breed with that, because that will go on through the offspring, to the offspring. Thank you very much. Sail on. Please.
I think the word for kantik in English is angular.
Thank you very much. But you know what you understand? What
Yeah, angular is kind of the right. I've described it well.
Yeah.
You said the other pelvis is at the pelvis to the rest of the body. Are you saying from the wing of the pelvis to the rearmost projection he's not long enough in relation to the rest of his body?
Yeah, only the last part of the hind leg. You know, from the kidney part to the start of the cage.
The doctor, do you measure to the rearmost point or just to the belly of the tail?
To the top of the cage.
And when you're looking at those, you stand back and look at, are you looking for a rectangle with the body and the legs or a square?
There is a lot of discussion. There's a lot of discussion about that. There will be some advanced dressage riders that will tell you, I love the square horse because it's so easy to collect them, piaffe and passage, but the example and the experience show that they need to have a certain frame. Not only piaffe, not the collecting lessons are everything what they ask in a high on the Grand Prix dressage. There are a lot of other things. Long strides in the walk, swinging through the whole body, good canter always uphill, trot close but long strides. And one word in this thing was very important. What long frame horses have more than square horses, elasticity. Because that is a physical secret. As longer the angles are, the physical things, the elasticity will work much more. And then one teacher has told me that if you go over a long bridge, which is built in the right way, will give you a much safer feeling in the elastic than a stiff bridge over a deep valley, because there is no elasticity. It's a little bit, can you understand what? Yeah. Different example. I have to agree. I love this man. I saw it 2 years in Sunsprite. And now you can show me again what you mean. You mean this part, is that right? I meant this part.
Yeah. I was confused about the tail insertion and the back of the pelvis.
But then we agree. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a very special mare in my opinion. And because her granddam is very special and very famous, Palma Nigra by Harvey, out of the Pelagonia family, going back to the main stock Trakehner, very valuable roots. The pedigree, the maternal pedigree of this mare, you can follow in the written stud books till the year 1767, written, documented. But that's not all. Breeding is not a thing that we can sit on and write. But it has to be said, this is very special horse, old, traditional Trakehner breeding. A lot of presence, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, even people who are not familiar with Trakehner horses, will know that this is a Trakehner horse. Can't be a thoroughbred. Can't be an Bavarian, can't be Holsteiner, only Trakehner or Anglo-Arabian. The reason I told you about Palma Nigra by Harvey, and now Timothy will smile. Harvey was a son by Burnus. In my opinion, this horse has not a lot from the Saïd Laroche, because that was very high decorated stallion, but very long in frame. Not the prettiest of the world. Dam's father was Carino, pretty horse, but different like his granddaughter. In my opinion, she has a lot of significant attitudes of Burnus. Her great-great-great-grandsire And now you can smile at me and not believe in me, but that is a secret of your pure breed. The scientist says horse breeding is only relevant in the first generation. That is a lie, ladies and gentlemen, because they don't know the horses they're talking about. We know a lot of examples of horses which show in presence, in attitude, in a lot of confirmation points, the influence of a grandsire, fourth or sixth or seventh generation, and that it's good so. That the scientists don't know that and can't prove it, but we can prove it because we knew the ancestors personally or from pictures and know that the granddaughter is totally similar in attitudes and in all these things. Again, back to her. Noble, attractive, female, look at the neck, light set on, in the right length and the right muscles, and look on the way she is carrying the neck, always in natural balance, even when she is looking at side. Make you a little bit more proud. She's always carrying a riding horse neck in the right neck, because it's easy for her, because the neck is set on in the right position and has the right length. And that means for the training afterwards in the saddle, that this horse never will have problems with the bridle, with the bit, and getting and needing 5-10 minutes to get in balance. She will be from the first moment in the right balance. Important, the neck is much more important than a lot of people will know. The withers and the shoulder could be a little bit more marked in comparison to the bay one. You notice now that the withers is disappearing a little bit. Also an example, a reason out of her bloodlines. The shoulder could be a little bit more going in an angle back to the saddle position. Saddle position is very nice. A little bit, wie sagt man, so ein bisschen sanft, a little bit smooth, a little bit soft in the top line. Nice hindquarters, a little bit overbuilt in the moment. Very nice in the joints, yes, and very dry. We say we love that word for a noble horse, for a Trakehner, dry. Dry in the joints means no fluid. Not too much muscle in the joint. You can see any tendons and any little muscle in all the little bones. That's very, very important. All the little bones. And then you put the saddle on her and you stop. And he's giving everything what he has in confirmation points into the hand of his rider. Of course, you not very often have a chance to have riders of that quality on your young horses, but on the other hand, such riders wouldn't work horses of lower quality. Therefore, you must make it. And you see as well, when you know, can you, okay. No, you go walk, please, is that okay? Only walk, long side, and then turn around where the jumps are. He has no problem with balance as well. He's always looked at the very good walk. That walk would be judged in an event, 3-day event competition, very high. And that is good so in our days that the dressage results are judged so high that they get so high horses in comparison to all the others. And then, for example, one of the reasons that international event riders are so successful when they're good riders, when they're quality riders. Ingrid Klimke never would be so successful if she wouldn't be such a brilliant dressage rider and such a brave event rider. You know what I mean? The country program. Tell me a little bit about this horse.
Well, actually, I don't mind that he makes a mistake because he's only 4, and I don't jump him very much because to me, he's still a little immature. His frame is big, and so he's going to take a while to fill out. And so, like, he's a little bit deep there, and he didn't quite know how to rock back. So I'm not so worried about the mistake, but how he comes back and does it the next time. So did he learn from his mistake and come and fix it the next time, or did he repeat the mistake? And I think especially for eventing horses, the temperament is so important. Obviously for all disciplines, but especially for eventing because we have to do 3 very different phases. And the horse's brain has to be able to change gears from the collection that's now required in the eventing dressage and still the bravery cross country. And maybe 30 years ago, the horses could just be, crazy and just run. I think people still have
Dangerous.
that image of what an eventing horse is, and it's very different now. They have to still have that bravery, but the rideability. And this horse absolutely has that 100%. That's my favorite quality about him. Obviously, I like his paces as well and his jump. But if he had all of those things, but he wouldn't let me train him, it would be very difficult. He has those things, and he lets me train him, and I think that makes him go all the way.
And now when you're watching him and go a little bit inside the horse and in her words, what she said, you can notice that she's telling absolutely the truth. There is already a partnership between them both in young years after a short period of training. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so much confidence now. And you have seen that for the first jump, the rider agreed with that and said, no problem. You are a young horse. Why shouldn't you make a mistake? You try again, and he then did a brilliant jump because he wasn't irritated. And that was again what we mean, Gina, hopefully you will agree with heart and mind and brain. But that has to be in combination with the heart and brain and mind of the rider. And when that works, it's enough. Thank you very much. Now our beautiful lady, with Becky, or Beck. 4 months under your saddle, what are your ideas and your experience with this mare? Always with you.
With Tammy. It's actually Tammy.
Always you.
Yeah. So Tammy should
Then tell us, that didn't happen with her. That didn't happen with her. Therefore, she's allowed to say some words about that because that didn't happen with the black. Some words about that.
She's interesting to, she's very smart. She's interesting to break because she's so smart, but she's quite amiable in putting her under saddle, and her balance is so great, it's always been. But I think actually starting her later, sometimes my experience with horses who starting them later isn't beneficial, but with her, it absolutely was. And she's been great.
And the future career will be eventing as well, or dressage?
I don't think we know.
That's very good as well.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Excuse me when I explain that. There are some very successful riders in the world. They say, I will decide the future career of my horse not before 5 or 6, because then I know wo ihre where their talents are, what they like to do the most, and where they are built for, and in which confirmation it is for that. And now look at that. In the moment, I think it's more dressage.
The great thing about her temperament is that when she gets away from home, she's even better.
Because she is bright, and you never miss that attitude of a horse. A bright horse, as we say, a clever, and clever in a positive way of the word meaning. Bright means that they can cope with difficult and different situations much better, was heißt denn dumm, silly? Than a silly horse. They go through everything and they take the rider in risk and in danger. But the bright horse says you in the right moment, that is perfect for me, and now we go. Look at this now, 4 months under the saddle. And you notice now as well what I meant before with the neck, which gives you in that quality the neck has, from the first moment, the right balance and rhythm. Because the neck is that sign for was heißt Mass? It's a pole for rhythm and elastic and balance. Das ist der Hals, der Pfeiler, also die Säulen für Balance ist. Und das wird mit Ausbalance.
So the neck is the basis for balance and rhythm. They need the neck to balance their body. You have a good neck, you have a long neck, you have a well-sloped neck. Balance the horse is interest. It's not difficult for a horse to balance himself with less neck.
Very elastic horse, a very attractive horse, but not only in type and in conformation. She is so attractive in the way of behaving. So happy that a rider is sitting on her.
Yes, sir.
Don't breed with her. She would be wasted in the way. She will be a beautiful sports horse. When she is retired after competition career, you can breed 1 or 2 foals, but that will hopefully keep sound. I'm very happy to have you 4 here. Thank you very much for your efforts. That was